Hello, hi, I'm Cryptic Hybrid and this is Unscripted. Now, Unscripted is a visual novel in which you play a software developer who's moving to a new city, which means, a whole new life, a new fantastic point of view. We'll have to see how it goes though. This is a demo version of Unscripted and it's available on itch.io right now. Let's check it out together. Unscripted. Alright, create your profile. Who are you? Please enter a name. Your name cannot include special characters. Well, I'm not MC. I am Cryptic Hybrid. There we go. Quick Mail would like to send you notifications. Notifications may include banners, alerts, and sounds. These can be configured in the app manager. Yeah, sure. Why not? That's all game related. There's an app manager in the game. Oh. Starting a new life isn't as easy as everyone else makes it seem. I don't think anyone makes that seem easy. While it's easy to leave everything behind, that's not easy. Getting yourself running again isn't. That too. That's true. It's not easy to start over. You have to start everything all over again from scratch, exactly, relying on just your experiences. The thought of it scares me a little. But I know it's possible. I can do it. And maybe I'll finally achieve my dreams. Maybe. If you believe. Okay. The train I've been on for a few hours finally stops at Coast Station. I step out of the train feeling both relieved that I arrived and concerned about my life to come. Why is it so loud? Let's get loud. Let's get... Sorry. Settings. Oh, sorry. Oh, sound. Yeah, Jesus Christ, ambient sounds. And, okay. I mean, I like the ambient sounds, but come on. Alright. So, okay, step out of the train. This is it. I'm now a resident of Catalina City. Well, technically you just arrived here, so you're not a resident. I've heard many good things about this place, mostly that all the great developers live here. I'm not sure if I can really meet up to that expectation, but I can try my hardest. I'm sure I can develop a pretty great video game for the pack store, maybe even into its prestigious arcade. Ooh. I pick up my belongings from the baggage claim area and step out, taking a look around. The crisp, cool breeze welcomes me into the city. I feel pretty confident. I take a look at my phone to check the time. It's only 2 PM. I sigh in relief and quickly shoot a message to Zeno, a friend of mine, letting her know I arrived. We met a few years ago at a developer conference and had worked on a few projects together. For the longest time, she came off as cocky and pretentious. I never really understood, but we would sometimes get into arguments in our text messages over it. Still, eventually we came to our senses and she was more open to me, probably because she had a life-changing experience. All things considered, she's still a great developer and a good friend. I'm thankful that she's letting me stay at her place for a couple of weeks while I get settled here. I take a seat on the bench, looking at my surroundings. The city's somewhat bustling with people, but it's not as crowded as New York. Oh, he came from New York, okay. It's a better dynamic for me, I think. I pick up my phone, ready to check for a response, when I see Zeno at the end of the walkway. She gently waves. I grab my belongings and walk to her, making sure I don't hit anyone with my suitcase. Instantly, I'm greeted with her welcoming eyes and a warming smile. Howdy, Cryptic Hybrid. I didn't think the train would arrive so early. I was expecting some delays, so I guess that makes two of us. Well, at least you're here. I don't suppose I can grab one of your bags? She points to the one on my shoulders. Yeah, sure, thanks. I hand her the bag and she puts it on her shoulders. She jokingly sings and puffs. Jeez, Cryptic Hybrid, could this be any heavier? It's not that heavy, come on. I know, I'm just messing with you. Zeno grins. Well, we'd better get going before you get stuck to the floor. You better make sure to have some sort of workflow when living here in Catalina City, especially agile. But hey, at least you won't need to make a fuss of writing user stories. Okay. Alright. I follow Zeno and to her car parked a few blocks away. As we're walking, I take a look around, taking in my surroundings. There aren't too many shops around, though I did notice a lot of offices and cafes. I am overall intrigued by the city's welcoming and bustling atmosphere. Hey Cryptic? I shake off my trance and notice her slightly concerned expression. Oh, I'm sorry, I kinda spaced out. It's fine. I just wanted to check, I already put your bags in the trunk? Thanks. She opens the passenger door for me. Thanks. I step inside and she closes the door. After making it to the driver's side, she starts the car and begins driving. I've noticed that there are a lot of offices and studios around here. Was that always the case? Well, some companies come and go. Others become spaces for regular citizens to work. And then there are a few that are bought by some developers and turn into an indie studio. Huh, sounds like the ocean. Yeah, I guess. You never know who stays these days. That building on the right of us has had several tenants over the past 5 years. At one point, it was a therapy center and a research company the next. It's vacant now, but you'll never know what's next. Wow. It can be tough out here to start a business or development studio. The rent's affordable, but you pretty much attach your name to the place. Once you're there, well, people here watch you very closely. Sounds rather harsh. It's just the way it is. I personally can't imagine myself doing that sort of thing. I'm much more content with my current job. I get to write these interesting apps for this company that does science and stuff. Science and stuff, I like that. Science and stuff? Exactly, yeah, that's kind of a weird thing to say. Just science and stuff. I can't really talk much about the job, it's classified. But at least I enjoy it. Well, I can tell. I'm sure they'll come to me soon enough. I'm certain will, don't you worry. We make it to Zeno's apartment after 15 minutes of driving. We both step out of the car and grab the bags from the trunk. We make our way to the entrance of the grand building when Zeno asks me a question. You don't mind cats, do you? Me? No, not really. I feel like you've asked me this before though. Did I? I don't remember. Right, I think you did because you were worried that I died if the cat touched me or something. Oh, that's right. That's a relief. I thought that I didn't ask you this entire time. No, you're good, you're good. I follow Zeno into the building and her apartment floor. She pulls her keycard out of her pocket and slides it into the receptacle. The reader beeps, acknowledging the input, and unlocks the door. There we go. Zeno makes her way inside while I follow slowly. Finally we're getting settled in. Looks pretty cozy. Like it. Her apartment definitely has that modern feel to it. It feels as if I was staring at a real estate catalog or a magazine. Despite this, I feel a sense of warmth. Wow. I hear Zeno's giggling from the side and I feel something touch my leg. I return my focus and look down, noticing a white cat casually tapping my leg with its paw as if to try and figure out what I was. After a few more taps, the cat looks up and directly into my eyes. We enter a rather quick staring contest as the cat processes my face. I can hear Zeno still giggling, though much lighter. The cat suddenly loses all interest in me and jumps on the couch. I shake my head and look at Zeno. It looks like you've met Benny already. That I did, yeah. That's the first time I've ever seen him do that to someone he meets. He's usually a little more active, I'd say. What does that mean exactly? To make a long story short, I think he already likes you. I'll take that. Better than not liking me. Certainly. Here, let's bring those bags over to the room I've set up for you. I follow Zeno to the room on the right side of the hallway. I step inside and take a look. I really don't use this room often, mostly for guests. But I hope it works for you. I'll take it, it's better than sleeping outside. I put my bags to the side. I should warn you before you end up discovering this, but that TV isn't connected to cable. I've never been much of a TV person myself, so I don't pay for cable or anything. But it is connected to that cable hanging there, so you can at least use it as an external display. Yeah, that works for me. I'm not much of a TV person either. Alright then, I'll let you unpack and settle in however you need to. Let me know if you need anything. Will do, thank you. Zeno places any remaining bags on the side and steps out of the room. I open the nearby dresser and start placing my clothes into it from one of my bags. Meanwhile, I can hear Zeno in the living room, probably talking to her cat. Who's a cute little kitty? I grin. Betty seems like a pretty chill cat. The both of us will get along nicely. Once I finish putting away my clothes, I open my backpack and pull out my laptop and mouse. I place them on the desk and set up the charger. Since I have some furniture in a couple of bags, I decided to not open it and slide the bag under the bed. After everything's set up, I sit on the bed and take a few moments to collect my thoughts. Just like that, I've begun my new life as a video game developer in Catalina City. I smile. I'll make it through. I get up and walk over to the living room. I notice Zeno laying on the floor, observing Benny as he plays around his little castle. He walks behind the castle and pokes his head up from the top. He scans almost like a security camera and notices me. Oh, you found... She looks in his general direction and finally notices me. Ah, that didn't take long. She gets up from the floor and adjusts her dress. I didn't have a lot to unpack. Right. Benny leaps from behind the castle and makes his way up to the couch. And off he goes. She lightly chuckles to herself. You never know with cats. They always have some sort of adventure for themselves. I guess so. Now let's see what we can do here. She walks over to the kitchen and opens the fridge. Oh, right. I had forgotten about this. I was going to get groceries before you had arrived, but it must have slipped my mind. She picks up her keys from the counter. Well, I guess I'll be right back then. Perhaps you might want to rest a little while I run out? I guess. Maybe. Well, I'm sure Benny can keep you busy in the meantime. She gently closes the door while Benny looks at me. We look at each other for a while before I decide to head to the room and rest for a bit, as suggested. I would have played with the cat. I mean, come on. It's a cat. It's cool. You know, it's not as cool as a dog, but, you know, these are developers, so, yeah. They're more cat people, apparently. I wake up from a long rest, slightly confused. I look at the clock close to me. 7 p.m.? Had I really slept for that long? I hope that I didn't at least miss dinner entirely. I get out of bed, swing to the bathroom, and get myself cleaned up. After making sure that I hadn't looked like I just rolled out of bed, I walk over to the living room. I find Zen on the couch playing some sort of game on the television while Benny scratches one of the poles on his castle. Rather than interrupting, I patiently wait until she accidentally falls into a pit of acid in her game before saying anything. Hey, I hope I didn't miss dinner or anything. Ah, you're awake! Nah, you didn't miss dinner. She puts her controller down and gets up from the couch. In fact, I'm still waiting a bit before it's ready. It turns out that I had to do some extra digging around for the ingredients that I needed. Apparently the grocery store I usually go to stopped selling products from a specific brand. Oh, I'm sorry to hear that. Not much I can do. It's all just corporate issues affecting everyone again. Yeah. I glance back at the TV screen. So, what game are you playing there? Ah, it's just a puzzle game. It sure does challenge my understanding of physics. Great, then I'd be lost. Come on, it's not that bad. I'm no physicist, but here I am falling to my death. I chuckle. You would say that, you definitely would say that actually. Well, obviously. Here, let me check on that pot really quick. She steps aside and removes the lid from the pot. She stirs the contents a bit before perking her head up in excitement. Aha, now That's what I call ready. She grabs some bowls from the cupboard and starts serving the food into each bowl. However, I notice that the table's not quite ready. Hey, where do you keep your napkins? Oh, I just keep them under the... As soon as she pointed to the right cupboard, I get to work immediately and grab them out of there. With determination, I prepare the table with the napkin and silverware, despite the fact that I didn't ask about their location. Well, he's like a psychic. He can see where the other stuff are. By the time Zeno gets over to the table, her eyes widen in confusion. What in the... I finished preparing the table for you. She weakly chuckles in response. Oh, thanks. She gently sits down, still slightly confused. It just kinda happened out of habit, if you're wondering. Ah, for a minute I thought you'd turn into a robot or something. Nah, I'm just well-mannered. We talked for a while and caught up as we enjoyed the dinner together. Zeno's split pea soup was definitely a treat. After finishing up, I helped clean up the table while Zeno works on getting the dishes to the sink. Once everything's been cleaned up, the two of us take a seat on the couch. Today has never felt so long before. It's been a long day for both of us, yeah. Yeah. I feel pretty tired. I woke up at 6:30. 6:30? How come? I got a little excited and wanted to make sure everything was in order before I picked you up. Ah, okay, that makes sense. You should probably get some rest then. Yeah, I probably should. She gets up from the couch and takes a look at Benny. Benny's already fast asleep on top of his castle. Alright, I think I'll be heading off early. I might do the same. Before I could say goodnight, she's already disappeared. Wow, she's fast. I get up from the couch and walk over to my room. I take a seat on the bed and look out the window. There's some activity going on, but nothing quite like where I was before. I chuckle and get under the covers, thinking about what tomorrow will bring. I'd probably want to get started with looking for a place at the very least. And then perhaps I can start writing some bug fixes to my game. Player clipping out of bounds can be a pain. Ah well. I shut my eyes, ready to face tomorrow. I should probably save also. Yeah, let's save. Oh, come on. Okay. Back. The rest of the night was rather peaceful and I managed to get a full 10 hours of sleep. Wow! 10 hours? Really? Oh, okay. I take a look at the clock, confirming that I indeed woke up at 8 AM. Ah, here it is, day 2. I get out of bed and pull out my outfit for today and walk over to the nearby bathroom. After getting myself ready, I walk back to the room, tidy up the bed, grab my phone and head into the living room. I see Benny sitting on top of the counter, eyeing the couch. I take a look around but don't find Zeno anywhere. As I step across and take a look in the kitchen for a note, Benny takes a leap onto the couch. He spins around and looks at me, proud of his accomplishment. I lightly chuckle as I continue to take a look around. Unfortunately, I don't find anything in the kitchen either. However, I do notice that the pot from last night's dinner wasn't completely rinsed out all the way. I instinctively finish the job for her and place it into the empty dishwasher. At the same time, I scan for other items and place them in the dishwasher. After closing it up, I wash my hands and walk over to the living room again, this time scanning for a note. As soon as I start looking at the coffee table, I heard the door behind me open. No, that's not how we're doing it at all! How many times do I have to tell you this? I turn around and notice Zeno at the front of the apartment, flustered. She grips the phone in her hand. Wait. Feregde? I guess that's the name? Feregde? No! Who do you think you're fooling? This time it's just like the last. I'm not buying it. I've had enough. She hangs up the phone and places it on the counter. Good morning. Are you alright? Me? Not really. Just a coworker pulling my strings again. She walks into the kitchen and freezes after noticing the empty sink. What the? I swear this thing was full just a half an hour ago. Yeah, I put them in the dishwasher. Put them in the dishwasher when I woke up a few minutes ago. Oh, really? It's only your second day and you're... Well, I appreciate it, thank you. Have you eaten already? No, not yet. I was looking for you since I didn't see you. Ah, I see. Well, I haven't really eaten anything either. I woke up half an hour ago when she called. So I guess the both of us can swing by at one of the cafes around here to get some breakfast. Sure, why not? Zeno grabs her keys from the counter as I follow her out the door. We drive around for a few minutes before arriving at the cafe. Well, there's no one around. As Zeno and I approach the cafe, I take a look around. There's a decent amount of greenery around the cafe, which separates it from the general business of the city. I smile as Zeno and I take a seat at a table outside. Now don't you leave, I'll go inside and order something. She gets up from the table and heads inside to order while I continue to take a look around. The warm sun beats down on my back as I notice a few birds hopping about. Zeno returns for a few minutes later with a small bag and 2 coffees. She puts a coffee down in front of me while trying to maneuver everything else. See, that didn't take long. I didn't think it would, thanks. She takes a seat in her chair and scoots in. Now, let's see here. She pulls out a few napkins and plates from the bag. I take one of the plates while resting my arm on the napkin to make sure it didn't blow away. Zeno places a croissant on each plate while taking a napkin from under my arm. I slide a few under my plate just to be safe. You know, I find it funny that we're acting like as if it's windy today. Just being overcautious, I guess. As soon as I take a bite of the croissant on my plate, I hear a voice from behind Zeno. Well, well, well. I see an energetic woman walking towards us, though I don't recognize her. Given Zeno's expression, I assume that voice is familiar to her. Within a few seconds, the woman arrives at our table with a cup and bag in her hand. It looks like we got a couple here. A couple of what? The two stare at each other, stifling their laughter. However, the stifle doesn't last long as the two burst out in laughter. Good morning, Zeno. And good morning to you, Catherine. Catherine? Catherine. I'm gonna say Catherine. That's a weird way to spell it, but let's say Catherine. And who's this fine specimen here? Catherine, this is Cryptic. He's a new resident and a good friend of mine. And Cryptic, this is Catherine. She's a colleague of mine. Catherine looks at me and sticks out her hand. Howdy! I hesitate for a millisecond before shaking her hand in response. Nice to meet you. Zeno, is it alright if I join you this morning? Yeah, be my guest. I'm sure Cryptic won't mind. She takes a seat to Zeno's right. So, how long has Cryptic been here for? Just about a day. Oh, you're completely new. Well, I'm sure Catalina City will suit you well. Zeno tells me you've been working on a video game for some time now. Is that right? For the most part, yeah. I haven't touched much of it since I got here, though. I'm hoping to finish it soon. Oh, what kind of game is it? Ooh, okay, let's save, because maybe this is important. Alright, so, is it a puzzle game, a platformer, or a visual novel? Well, we came from New York, we go to Catalina City, which is probably like some sort of San Francisco type place. Young developer, probably a Bernie vote or something like that. Let's go for a visual novel. Ah, a visual novel. I heard that they've been getting popular in recent years. Oh, certainly. There are a few I've seen that have definitely been redefining the genre. I don't think mine will be redefining anything anytime soon. Ah, don't sweat it. I'm sure you'll do great. Well, it sure sounds like you've got yourself something good to work with. Do you have any plans of publishing it anytime soon? Well, eventually, yeah. I'm hoping to get it to the pack store, maybe to the arcade. Wowie! That's quite a goal. That store is a little difficult to get into. I had a few friends that tried really hard. Only one of them made it though. Who knew it'd take a lot to get a small utility in there? Huh, regardless, I think you'll make it just fine. Who knows? I think the arcade's a still pretty new. Maybe you'll be one of the first to to make something really special there. Maybe, yeah. If it's anything the arcade needs right now, it's a good visual novel. I appreciate the sentiment. So, do you have a place to stay at already? He's staying with me at the moment until he gets himself settled in. Hopefully I can find a good place within the next week or so. I'm sure you'll find a good spot. Places are selling around here most of the time. It's just kind of been that way with companies and shops moving in and out of here. Huh, makes sense, I guess. Don't worry, I'm sure you'll find a place soon enough. Zeno takes another sip from her coffee. Yeah, I remember when I first moved down here. The building I lived in was brand new at the time with no tenants. I think I was the only tenant for a month before more people began showing up. I suspect that the landlord didn't put up any offers online or whatever. Luckily, I found out from a friend long before the building opened. I have a funny feeling with neighbors quizzically look at me every time I fix something for them. I know all the ins and outs of the place already. Well, I'd certainly have questions if my neighbor just fixed something that only my landlord would know how to do. Ha! I'm sure you have some expert of your building besides your landlord. Catherine looks at her phone and grabs her coffee. Well, I should get going. I got a couple of pull requests to review. A pleasure meeting you, Cryptic. I'll see you around, Zeno. Catherine gets out of her chair and walks out of the cafe. Zeno takes another sip of her coffee. So, how long have you known her? Quite a long while, actually. I'd say about 10 years. Wow, you two sure seem to be a dynamic duo. You're funny. I'm sure it wouldn't have been that way if I didn't tell her about the apartment. We smirk at each other before bursting into laughter. Yeah, maybe. We should probably get going before we get too comfortable. Nah, sounds fair. I want to take a look around for a bit. No worries. I got to take care of some release bonanza in half an hour. I suppose we should meet again here later? Sounds like a good plan to me, yeah. I'll text you when I'm on my way. See ya! Zeno walks off to her car and drives off. I sigh peacefully as I walk out of the cafe and onto the street. The street isn't too busy like I'd imagined. There's a few people walking about, but it's not too crowded. I walk around for a bit and look around the city. There's some kids building some forts in the park, and other people are talking while walking. At least the atmosphere here seems nice. I lightly chuckle and continue walking about. I notice some shops and people about on the sidewalk as I continue looking around. It's interesting seeing the city's full activity. Though I might not fit in just yet, I still feel at ease. I stop for a second and look at the buildings nearby, making out where some signs used to be. It looks like this place has been a clinic before. I shrug and keep walking until a voice from behind calls out. Well, that's certainly a new face. I hesitate for a second, pondering whether I should keep moving or stop. I decide to stop and turn around, assuming that she was calling out to me. I see a woman approaching me casually. She looked normal, just like everyone else. Her smile was friendly too. However, something didn't feel right. I just ignore my instinct and wait for her for a few seconds before responding. You must have a good eye for spotting new people. Perhaps I do. I surely don't recognize you. I continue to feel at unease with her. Of course, I've only been here for a day. I don't really recognize you either. The woman chuckles, furthering my unease. The name's Christina. I see. I hesitantly stick out my hand for a handshake. Cryptic Hybrid. She accepts my handshake and grips my hand. Something tells me that she knows exactly what she's doing. Well, Cryptic, I think we'll be seeing each other more. We'll be seeing each other more often. I have a feeling. Perhaps. Well, it was nice meeting you. I must go now. Farewell, Cryptic. Christina walks off in the other direction as I try to calm myself down. She seems nice and all, but there's just something about her that I can't quite put my finger on. I try shrugging it off and continue walking. I mean, that was weird, right? Just, man, that was weird, right? Just, you know, meeting a new person. Maybe not. Maybe I'm just exaggerating. Maybe I'm just paranoid. Eventually, I make my way back to the cafe from this morning. After the unsettling feeling, I couldn't really find any new places. However, I do notice Catherine and Zeno talking just outside the cafe. I casually walk over to them and hope I don't appear too anxious. Luckily, John managed to push the feature up before I hit that release button. Phew, close call, huh? Yeah, and luckily the features features in the latest betas. Well, good for you. Glad to hear that worked out. I've just been handling PRs all day. I'm not sure what it is, but I guess I've just turned into a PR monkey. Huh. I wouldn't worry, Catherine. The feeling subsides later when you start writing more things. I think your company is just trying to figure out how to handle Agile. Yeah, Agile. Oh, howdy, Cryptic. I didn't see you there. I told him we'd be meeting here. How did the apartment searching go? It took some unexpected turns. No luck today, but I'm hoping to try again tomorrow or something. That's a shame. I don't mean to intrude, but I'm pretty sure we've got an empty apartment on my floor if you're interested. Well, thanks for the offer. I'll take a look into it if I don't find anything else soon. I'll take it you're ready to go? Yeah, I'm ready when you are, Zeno. Alright, I'll talk to you later, Catherine. I should be making dinner about now. Alright then. See you later, Zeno and Cryptic. Zeno and I make our way to her car and she drives us back to her apartment. Where Benny is just, on the couch, licking his fur. Zeno heads straight to the kitchen as soon as we arrive at the apartment. I spot Benny playing with some yarn on the couch. Oh, okay, so he was on the couch while he was playing, okay. I decide to sit next to Benny and watch him as he unravels a bit more of that yarn ball. The ball makes it into my lap and Benny follows suit. Within a few seconds, he loses interest in the yarn and naps on my lap. The purring is enough to calm me down and forget about what happened earlier. Zeno tries to make a conversation, but the noises in the kitchen overpower her, and I can't hear her. Oh well, I close my eyes and I continue to let the purring calm me down. After half an hour, Benny jumps off my lap and onto the table, prompting me to open my eyes and check on Zeno. She's still cooking in there, but it appears that she's almost done. Within seconds, I'm already on my feet and helping prepare the table a second time. I just about finished the job when Zeno brings over the pot from the stove. Once everything's ready, the two of us start and follow our evening routine as usual. Let me just have a little bit to drink, because, there's a lot of text. My mouth is getting dry. Alright. Although I still feel a little uncomfortable about Christina, I at least got to walk around a bit and met Catherine. I definitely feel confident that the next few days will go smoothly. Well, famous last words, right? I'm sure everything's gonna be alright, and then the disaster happens. Inventories would like to send you notifications. Notifications may include banners, alerts, and sounds. Sure. I had a bit of trouble sleeping last night while trying to stop thinking about yesterday. However, I think I've gotten over what happened. Well, at least enough for me to function. I take a look around for Zeno, but she isn't anywhere to be seen. So we just kind of skipped through dinner and everything? Alright. I head to the kitchen to look for a note as usual, but there isn't anything there. I'm guessing that she's not the kind of person to leave notes. Well, yeah, especially since she's been living alone, right? I mean, you don't really get that habit if you live alone. Just leave notes for yourself? I sigh and decide to head out to get some breakfast. I make my way over to the cafe from yesterday and I notice that no one's around. I check my phone for the time. Oh, it's nearly 7 AM. I must be too early and the cafe's not open yet. I shrug and swing by a grocery store that thankfully was open and grab some supplies. When I arrived at the apartment, I placed my bags on the counter and checked to see if Benny was around. Luckily, I see him sleeping in a little cubbyhole. Cubbyhole? In the castle. Oh, cubbyhole, okay. I smile and unload the groceries from the bags. Once I finish unloading, I search for some pots and pans to use, placing them on the stove. I catch myself falling into a rhythmic state and cooking breakfast with a beat. Within minutes I prepare something small and find myself dancing to my own beat. I mean, you could just play something. I place my dish on the table and immediately work on cleaning everything up that I needed to. Once everything's been cleaned up, I sit down and start eating. Zeno walks through the door after a few bites. She seems somewhat startled, but she's not letting that stop her day. I wait since I already have food in my mouth. Did you run out to the store or something this early? I nod my head, making sure I don't choke on any egg. Oh, I'm sorry, I didn't think you'd get up this early. I swallow, wave my hand about, and wait until my throat is clear before talking. I didn't think so either. So, I guess the cafe is closed at this hour? Yeah, I think they're closed today because they need to repair something. Ah, well, I grabbed groceries anyway. There's still some left if you want me to make you anything. Oh, it's alright. I grabbed stuff on the way back. I was called in super early this morning due to some bug. Yikes. Was it a nasty one? Just a file permission error. Ah, that would do it. To be fair, they think I'm the only one who can fix the problem. Jeez, they could have grabbed anyone that uses Linux to fix it. I wouldn't get too caught up in it. They probably don't know any better. I guess so. I put my fork down on the empty table and get up from the table. I had my fair share of stupid moments like that. Man, wait. Nginx? Nginx, I don't know what that is. Can be a beast. Zeno stifles her laughter. Yeah, fun stuff. I'm thinking of trying again with apartment searching, though. I may head into a different direction this time. Take your time. You don't need to rush into this, you know. Right. If I were you, I'd personally try tackling your game again, at least to get some progress done on it. Yeah, I guess so. I was hoping to make sure I had a place and all that before getting to it. That's fair. No one's stopping you. That, and there's not much more than I could really do other than some tests and start writing scripts for deployment. Scripts for deployment? Are you planning on releasing your game to CI or something? Nah, I just want to automate some of the work into signing the binaries and uploading it. It can be a little hassle to, bit of a hassle to do it manually each time and every time, you know? That makes more sense. Yeah, definitely. Sounds like you're not using the conventional means of publishing. Well, yeah, I'm not using the company's language or IDE. Seno puts her hand on her chin and ponders what I'm writing my visual novel in. So wait, what language are you writing it in? Let's say for this... Okay, let's go Python, C++, Haskell, or... No, not Java, definitely. I'm gonna go C++, why not? We're going hardcore. Oh, C++. Wow, I'm sorry. Why would you be sorry? I've had some bad experiences with C++ in the past. Really? Of course you have. I didn't think jumping straight from JavaScript to C++ in an instant would work out so well. Oh yeah, that definitely wouldn't be that easy of a jump, that's true. C++. I don't think that's been used for any submission on the pack store. Well, I guess I'm going to be the first, provided that it goes through. Yeah, maybe. Zeno walks over to the couch and takes a seat. Who knows? I could compile something later. That's fine, you don't need to. We can use my machine later since I have the tools. Yeah, I can send you a copy of the source code later. I'm probably just going to read for now. Alright, I'll probably just work on some stuff then. Sounds good to me. I walk over to my room and turn on my laptop. Finally. It takes a while before my laptop fully kicks into action, but it luckily does manage to wake up. I assume I had grabbed an update before I left and tried installing it while I was away from it. Oh well. I sigh as I pull up my code editor and start compiling the app. After waiting for a few minutes, the code is ready for me to copy over. I fumble around and look for a flash drive in my bag to copy the files over to. After searching for a few minutes, I eventually find a small drive hiding in my pocket. I stick the drive into the laptop, copy over the files, and then eject it. Hey, project USB received. Go to the inventories to learn more. Hopefully this doesn't get damaged. I close up my laptop and walk out of the room since I didn't have much to do besides that. So what do I have an inventory? Where's my inventory? Chat, desktop, no. Okay. I notice almost immediately that Zeno has fallen asleep on the couch. Really? In the middle of the day? Deciding not to say anything, I head out of the apartment and start walking around. I pick up a different direction from the last time in hopes of finding some new places. I let my eyes wander, noticing a couple of shops and small offices I haven't quite seen before. Oh! Quick mail, Christina Ferengi, nice portfolio. I feel my phone buzz but decide not to do anything about it. Wait, how does she have my phone? Use item. Open inventory. So I have the project USB desktop. Oh, that's my desktop? Quick mail. Christina Ferengi. Nice portfolio. Hey there, I hope I didn't startle you with this email. I found the email address online attached to your portfolio. Speaking of your portfolio, it's really impressive. I haven't seen any Python code this clean and concise with a developer like you in a very long time. As a fellow Python developer, I'm really interested to see what else you're currently working on and would love to show you some of the work I've been doing. I hope we can meet sometimes and share. Wait, so the girl that I met relatively randomly yesterday was the Zeno's coworker that she didn't like? Oh, that's gonna be bad. That is gonna be bad, I think. That's not gonna be good. How do I go back? Save? Okay. Alright. If anything, I can always just head to the desktop and open quick mail. Okay, I did that. I keep walking around for a while. Yeah, that's gonna be a bad thing. If Christina's trying to befriend me, Zeno's not gonna like that. Probably. Eventually, I make my way over to the same place as yesterday. I should feel surprised about the small size of the city, but it feels normal. Maybe I'm just a fast walker. I take a seat on a nearby bench and take a look around again. The nice breeze offsets the heat, but also sends chills down my spine. See, a nice breeze, so I mean, I assume the breeze is from the sea, right? From an ocean maybe, but so I'm guessing this is something like San Francisco. I keep sitting and absorbing the environment around me for a while before I notice Catherine out of the corner of my eye. She appears to be talking with a businessman, probably a client. I let it be and keep looking around. It kind of feels weird of not having much to do with a project. Am I supposed to have an urge to keep coding? Well, no, you could rest. This is a whole new experience, right? Moving to a new city, I mean, you can't just game dev 24/7 and have all that the only thing on your mind. I don't think I should get ahead of myself though. I don't want to abandon a bunch of project ideas because of boredom. Maybe once I get feedback on my current visual novel, I'll have something to work on. There's always the distribution scripts, but I'd best hold off for now. I notice Catherine coming my way, but she isn't noticing me. I'd rather not bother her, so I keep idly looking around. She passes by, twirling a pencil in her hand as she walks. I smile and get up from the bench, continuing my trek. I spend the rest of the day continuing around town. I even managed to find a decent place I could potentially stay in. Why wouldn't you go where Catherine is? I mean, the same building. I mean, at least she's a friendly face. I got the landlord's contact information and took some pictures for consideration. Eventually, I make my way back to the apartment. Surprisingly, I didn't see Zeno. I'm guessing she's either out getting things or is having a post-production panic attack. I walk over to the kitchen and check to see if my groceries were still in there. Luckily, they had been untouched. I pull out some of them and start making dinner. Again, I find myself cooking with some sort of rhythm as I continue. Within a few minutes, I have a pot of rice ready. I grab a trivet, place it on the table and bring the pot over. Again, I still don't see any sign of Zeno. I didn't bother looking for a note either, given that she didn't leave any the previous times. Yeah, she probably hasn't. She probably put any notes out. I decided to keep waiting and proceed to making stew to go with the rice. I finished seasoning it when I hear the door open. Howdy! I hear no response, not even a jingling of keys. I turn around and still don't see Zeno. Oh well, I guess I must have heard another door on this floor or something. I turn back around and continue cooking. Once the stew's ready, I grab another trivet and bring the pot over. I put the lid on the stew pot and turn off the stove. Okay. A few minutes pass, but I still don't see her. I walk to the door and peek my head out, checking if she was at least in the hallway. There's not a sign of life. I close the door and quickly text her just to make sure she's still alive. I start grabbing bowls and spoons when I hear a sudden knock on the door. I put the bowls and spoons on the cleaner side of the counter and open the door. Immediately and unexpectedly, I see Christina at the door. What? Cryptic? Hi? Well, this is a pleasant surprise. Sure? I don't suppose you'd happen to know where Zeno is, would you? Not that I know of. She hasn't shown up for the past half hour and I haven't received a text from her. How peculiar. I thought she was just avoiding my emails. Alright. Now, you on the other hand. I did see you send something. I was going to check it later after dinner. Reading emails on my phone on the go just isn't something I do. Oh, if you insist. Well, I guess that answers a few questions. Perhaps it does? I wouldn't be sure. What type of questions does she mean? I should be getting back to doing things. Fair enough. Au revoir. Cryptic. Christina walks away from the door and over to the elevator. I sigh and sit at the table. I might as well also read the email she sent. I reluctantly pull out my phone and open the email. Okay, well, we read through this. So she wanted to meet sometime and share about, talk about Python. Okay. I thought I hid my email address pretty well. I guess I must have forgotten to do something. I'll need to figure that out later. I check my phone again for any messages from Zeno. There still isn't anything and I'm concerned. I try calling her, but it appears that the call doesn't go through. If I knew Catherine's number, I would probably call her. I lean back on the chair and try to think of the next best thing to do. Suddenly I hear the door swing open and see Zeno filled with fear. Hey guys, I'm so sorry. I tried calling and everything, but my phone was dead. I get up from the table. Thank goodness you're right. I was getting a bit concerned. You must have also caused some concern with other people too. Oh my goodness. There was a fire in the database room today that we had to put out. Luckily nothing was harmed and the data's still intact. And then my phone died on me. She takes out her phone and places it on top of the counter. The phone starts charging almost immediately. Whoa, your counter's also a wireless charging pad? Yeah. I don't know how they did it. Well, at least you're alright. I made stew and rice. It hasn't been sitting for more than 5 minutes, so it should still be warm. Stew? Oh. Groceries from this morning. Oh. Alright then. Zeno takes a seat at the table while I retrieve the bowls and spoons from the counter. I distribute the bowls and spoons and start serving dinner. We continue on with dinner as usual and talk about the incident at her workplace. Luckily, no one was harmed and everything should be fine. Well, that is except for part of the wall. The company will probably make some backups tonight or tomorrow to make sure the data is safe. After dinner, we share our usual goodnights and part to our rooms respectively. I place the USB drive onto the table and sit on my bed contemplating about today. Although today was one of those nothing to do kind of days, I still managed to find the place. I'm not sure how I feel about seeing Christina again though. There's just something really odd about her. I shrug it off and slip myself under the covers. Oh, and that was it. Unscripted. That was it. That was the demo. All right, so everyone, that was the demo version of Unscripted. Kind of let us in without. Well, it makes sense. It is a demo. We're not sure, but what's gonna happen, or we're not getting any resolutions or anything like that. But if you want to try this demo yourself, or you want to show it to someone who might be interested in it, you can find it on itch.io. It's available for Windows, macOS, and Linux. I hope we'll see more. Maybe an extended demo before release, when which I don't know when that's gonna come out, but it would be cool to see more about especially more with the desktop interface and the inventory. I guess you'll be able to use those things in your inventories at some certain points. So maybe it has certain point and click adventure elements to it, but we'll have to see from Marquis here. I hope that's how you pronounce his name. For now, again, this is the demo version of Unscripted. Find it on itch.io. You can get it for free, or you can support the developer with $1, $2, $3, $5, 10, however much you can. Again, through itch.io. Thanks so much everyone for watching. If you like this video, if you like me, talking, trying to voice 4 different characters, well, five. No, 1, 2, 3, 4 characters. Then please subscribe, like this video, check out the back catalog. I'm on YouTube, I'm on BitChute, I'm on DTube, so whichever platform you prefer, go there and discover tons and tons of cool games, mostly indie games. I would definitely recommend you at the very least subscribe to YouTube and BitChute, because on YouTube I do developer interviews and I do live streams, while on BitChute I put up gameplay videos earlier, and I also have exclusive videos there. So if you want to see all the stuff that I make, then check out both those channels: youtube.com/cryptichybrid, bitchute.com/cryptichybrid. And after that, if you can, and of course you can, take half a minute to see the ways through which you can support me. Those are super important as I try to make some financial sense out of all this. So you can help out either by giving me a direct donation through PayPal, or if you don't have disposable income like that, that's fine. You can support me with the purchases that you make on the Epic Games Store, the Humble Store, Fanatical. All you have to do in those cases is either use an affiliate link or a creator tag. It costs you absolutely nothing extra. You don't pay more for the stuff that you buy. You just tell that store to send me a small percentage of the money you spend there. So it's a very small thing that you can do. Again, it costs you nothing extra, but it can go a very, very long way in terms of support. Last but not least, another great way to help out without actually getting any money from your pocket, out of your pocket, you can download and try out the Brave browser. Now, the Brave browser is an open source, privacy focused browser that's based on Chromium. It has a built-in ad blocker, it blocks trackers. It's really cool. I've been using it for more than a year now, and it's become my daily driver together with Opera. I use it, I like it, I recommend it. If you care about your privacy, even if you don't, download it to the referral link in the description, install it, of course, try it out. I think you're gonna like it. If you end up using it for at least a month, then I will get a small crypto reward from the Brave software team. Now, if you already use the Brave browser, I am a verified publisher with them, so you can tip me basic attention tokens on any video of mine on YouTube, or on any post that I make on Twitter. Just see that little special Brave rewards triangle in the just to the right, basically, of the address bar, and that's where you can tip me the basic attention tokens that you can get through the Brave browser. Thanks again everyone for watching. This has been Unscripted, and until the next time we see each other, thank you and have an awesome day.